Hi guys, this is my new channel and it's called Designification. So I imagine this channel to be a place where we are going to talk about cars, gadgets, furniture, everything that can be designed, and that is pretty much everything. So how I envisioned it, that we actually talk about something and I show you my version of how would I design it. So my first video is going to be about something that you already know, and that's the Mini. So this is the original Mini. We're going to check out my little book, and back then it was called the Austin 7, or more widely known as the Mini. It came in *59, so it's actually quite an old design, but it's so iconic that even today when you see such a simple design as this, you basically already know that it's a Mini. So this is the car. You see, this angle is probably the best because you can see that it's quite a small car, quite a simple car, and it was actually functional. This wasn't supposed to be a stylish car. So you see here quite a simple design, engine in the front, and cabin is made for four, and there's a little trunk area in the back. In the early 2000s, you see this was the original Mini. This is the back. Came this, and it was actually produced by the Mini because in the early 2000s BMW bought the rights for the Mini and they made this. You see, when you look at the two cars, you see quite a resemblance, and you can't you actually, when you see this car on the street, you basically know it's a Mini. You can't think that it's any other car than the Mini. After the first new generation, so the Mark 1 of the new Minis, came the second one, and it was basically quite a good redesign. It was modernized after this, but when you look at the two cars, they're quite similar. You see, they have to keep the simple design of the first one, so when you see the car, you basically know it's a Mini. And the second generation was quite, I don't know, in my opinion, better than the first one. But then came the third generation, and they introduced the four-door version. And it's basically, as we already said, as these two, the first two generations were quite similar, so was the third generation. And in the meantime, they actually introduced some new models, like the Mini Coupe. So this was actually quite interesting to me, that they put this in production, because it's for the niche market. So it's a coupe, it's not practical. It was supposed to be like a mini sports car. But back then they actually made this concept, and this was the Mini Superleggera. It's basically like a mini sports car. You see, it's something like the MX-5 or the Miata. So something like a pure sports car, but it's a Mini. And this was actually quite interesting to me. And today we're basically going to put our attention to this, to the Mini sports car. Also, when you look at the generations, they're all quite, you see, similar. This was the first one. So this one was the first modern version, the second one, as we've seen before, and this is the current generation. Now, what's actually interesting to me, that this is the current lineup. So we have the Mini series, like we have the Mini 5-door, 3-door, and we have the 3-door cabriolet. Also, we have the Mini Clubman. This is like a family Mini. It's quite bigger. And we have the Mini SUV. So, my thinking goes to the direction of why didn't they made this? So the Mini Superleggera. Why there is no Mini Coupe, a mini sports car? So we're actually going to make one today, or should I say, we're going to make my version of how would I make the mini sports car. So in this second part of the video, we actually saw all the minis, and now we come to sketching. Now, when I start my designs, I like to make some clean sketches, like fast sketches, nothing too spectacular, before I actually start modeling and creating the design. So let's get started. So what I'm actually looking here is the car itself. So this is the second generation. We also have, I have prepared the first one and the third one, but we're going to look at this one particularly because I think it's actually the simplest of them all. And we're going to, I think this brought the true essence of a Mini in this second generation. This is quite a bit modern, and the 4 doors, I'm not a big fan of it. Okay, so I've done some sketching, and to be clear, these are pretty fast sketches, but they are actually only for me, because you see, when I do this kind of sketching, it's actually like notes for me. What should I do when I start to model? because when you start writing something, you have some notes, right? And when I start modeling, these sketches are just reference sketches for me, so that I know what should I sketch. You see, in this sketch, I actually know that I want this line to go a bit lower from the wheel, and it's going to go a bit taller from the wheel and a bit lower to the cabin, and then back on the back wheels again we go a bit taller, and then we lower it, and this line goes a bit taller, so this isn't something that is supposed to be, to show people, you see, this is going to look like, the car is going to look like this. No, it's for me. I know what I'm going to do when I start modeling. And actually, we came to the part of the video where I start modeling. So we'll see how it will all turn up. Okay, so now I start the model. So my process of modeling is actually quite simple. Those sketches that I did before, they're actually, um, as I said, notes for me. So with those sketches, I can make new sketches in the software for modeling. In my case, that's SolidWorks. So with sketches, I first do a reference sketch, like a side sketch of my car that I want to design, and then after I actually start with the details, such as first I like to make the side panel, or like the side details, and after that I actually continue by doing the front and then the back, because it's easier for me when I have the sides. I mean, I actually do have the car, and then I just mirror the car at the end. It's quite that's the simpler way, because it's actually, so the car is symmetric. So the point is to make it as simple as possible. If I want to make something complicated, usually I have to make it, at least the process of making it needs to be simplified. So when doing something complicated, you always have to look for the simplest way possible. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. I hope you liked this one, and soon we'll have a new video with some new designs. So leave a comment down below if you like the car. Tell me what would you change, and give me a suggestion. What do you want to see next? Thank you. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.